Ever wonder where dinner comes from? A great majority of food is grown here, in California. Migrant workers plant and cultivate crops until they're ready for your plate. Great food, hard workers. What's the problem, right? What if, for every strawberry you ate, a child was left behind?
The mission for migrant education to me is perhaps the most important thing. It's to empower not only the child, but the family. It's bringing the family together around a common purpose, and that common purpose is personal success. I think it's important anytime we talk about migrant education to talk a little bit about the historical background of where migrant comes from. Migrant education is actually a product of Title I funding that was enacted in 1965 in Congress to help those students who come from low socioeconomic backgrounds and trying to bridge the gap. Title I in 1966 went ahead and made an amendment creating what we now know as migrant education. And so Region 8, which I'm proudly working with, is one of 23 migrant education regions throughout the state of California.
Los beneficios que nos ofrece el programa Migrante son muchos para nuestros hijos porque los enseñan cómo desarrollarse y cómo trabajar juntos. Les ofrecen muchos viajes a las universidades cuando ya están en sus años de seniors. Los llevan a visitar diferentes universidades, los llevan a un viaje a Washington, a los que son elegidos para ir allá.
I think one of the most important things was going to Washington, D.C. I had the chance to do that, and so did my older sister. And it was just a great learning experience because we got to leave the valley and see something else, and kind of just like how, the nation's working. And we talked a lot of issues that were affecting us, and education was one of them as well.
Migrant education typically offers an array of different services based on the unique needs of the district and their schools. In some areas you see quite a bit of focus in tutorial intervention. We also offer health services because we understand that in reaching out to families, it's more than just an education. It's also meeting their basic health needs because we understand that we're dealing with a population that moves from time to time following the seasonal work.
Well, I remember the migrant program when I first came to this country. I actually came and lived in Yeram in Cutler. And I remember that I was like around 6 years old, and there were the ones who helped my parents.
In order to qualify for migrant education, a child must have moved within 3 years between state or district boundaries, seeking with their family employment. Many of the programs that we offer actually start at age 3 all the way to age 21. So we're working with preschool youth in what we call the Migrant Education School Readiness Program. And that's basically child development, teaching parents how to parent their children and prepare them for kindergarten and to be successful later in their educational career as well.
When they will come, in a little bus, and they will give us like a bag of books. And I remember opening them, and again, I didn't know what the books really said because I didn't know English, but I remember that it was a really happy time. That I got something new, because my parents didn't have money to afford a lot of things new. And so getting books was just something that I always remembered.
Es un programa que está ayudando a nuestros jóvenes a que sigan con sus sueños, que no se cierren de decir, yo ya no puedo ir a la universidad. Porque muchos de nuestros jóvenes piensan, no tenemos dinero, o no tengo papeles, o estoy ilegal en este país. Eso no es un obstáculo para que no vayan a la universidad. Ellos tienen que seguir con sus sueños.
Well, I would just say to keep the program going, because right now with the budget cuts, especially in education, it's important to have these programs because it's getting harder for us students to actually enter the university right now.